Evaluate. Express your answer in scientific notation. Okay, so let's start off. We have a number in standard form, and we're going to subtract a number in scientific. So number one, we want to convert all the numbers to standard form. So the nice thing is this is already done for us. So I'm just going to put 0.0589, and I'll subtract. Now this has a negative exponent, which means it's going to be a pretty small number. And so I'm going to move the decimal 1, 2, 3 places to the left. So it looks like I'm going to add 2 zeros into that spot when I put that in. You know what, let's start with the 0. I started with the 0 over here. So decimal, again, 2 zeros. So I'm going to put 00193. Now they're both in standard form. We're going to line up the decimals. I'm going to start with the top one. I'm going to put 0.0589. And then I'll start with this decimal over here again. Make sure you line it up. So I'm going to start with a 0, and then it's 00193. So here we go, 00193. I'm just going to switch colors to red to emphasize. I'm just going to add a 0 for the subtraction purposes. And you know what? I'll leave this red so I can show all my little steps here. Actually, let me switch over to blue. I would like to subtract 3 from 0, but I'm going to need to regroup. So I'm going to cross out the 9. Make it an 8, cross out the 0, and that's going to change to 10. Now 10 minus 3 is 7. 8 minus 9, I got to regroup again. So I'm going to cross out the 8, make that a 7. And now that's 18 minus 9, which is 9. 7 minus 1, which is 6. 5 minus 0, which is 5. And 0 minus 0 is 0. So you could add the 0 there on the end. So this is just a quick reminder of subtracting, that the number on the top has to be bigger. So a lot of times you're going to end up regrouping. Okay, so the decimal has to be right but here between the 5 and the 6. So I'm going to put 5.697 times 10. Obviously, it's a really small number, so we know it's a negative exponent. But this is the way I think it. I'm going to move it to the left 1, 2 spots. And when I move it to the left, that's going to give me my -2 exponent. So 5.697 times 10 to the power of -2. So pretty simple. We've got a little bit more going on. But again, remember, line up the decimals and then regroup when necessary. All right. So for our second example, they're both in scientific. So we're going to have to change both of these to standard. But the 3 steps still remain the same as we've been doing for a couple days now. So first things first, let's see, I'm going to move this one decimal to the left because that's a -2. And over here, because it's a -2, I'm going to move it 2 to the left. So this is going to be decimal 61, subtract decimal 096, like that. And again, you could put zeros in front or you could leave them out. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to put decimal 61, and then I'm going to subtract the number underneath. So I'm going to put decimal 096, and then we're supposed to be subtracting. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a 0 to this spot right here, just so I can have 6 subtracted from something. So 6 subtracted from 0 means I'm going to need to regroup. I'm going to change the 1 to a 0 and change this 0 to a 10. Now 10 minus 6 results in 4. I'd like to subtract 9 from 0, but I have to regroup. So the 6 is going to change to a 5. And now that's going to be 10 minus 9, which is 1. Again, a lot of regrouping. And then 5 minus 0 is 5. So it ends up being decimal 514. Then to convert this back to scientific, it's going to be 5.14 times 10. And then all I would have to do to move it back would be 1 time to the left. And when I move it to the left, that's going to give me my -1. So 5.14 times 10 to the power of -1. There you have it. Convert to standard form, line up the decimals to add and subtract, and then convert to scientific notation. Hopefully you found this helpful.